Welcome to Tuesday night, the Disney Crush live stream. We are joined by Mandie Malinoski, travel advisor at large, who is going to tell us about the Starcruiser, Galactic Starcruiser at Walt Disney World. She recently had the opportunity to take a voyage on the Halcyon.
So excited.
And we're going to give some people some time to join us, but we're really excited to have Mandie with us. We're going to talk about her experience.
Super excited to be here.
We're going to give some people time to join, so we are going to do our little intro video while people are joining. I don't know if my friend Samantha is here, but she is good. I am purposely doing this. First of all, I realized tonight I was looking for Star Wars ears. I couldn't find that I have any Figaro's Whiskers Star Wars ears, so we need to rectify that. I need to talk to my...
I'll get them out to you, but you don't because you made yourself those rebel ears that you always wore.
That's right. Right. So anyway, but she and my friend Samantha, it will make her crazy. First of all, I think these are on backwards, which will really make her crazy.
They're on back. I thought you were doing it on Amanda Bond.
But I'm wearing Jack Skellington ears while talking about Star Wars because this will make her bananas and she needs to work on her OCD a little bit. So I'm wearing Jack Skellington ears in Batu while talking about the Starcruiser, really, because I just couldn't find any Star Wars ears tonight and these were sitting right here.
So next time I hang out with Sam, I should definitely bound for the wrong park, right?
Okay.
So if we're going to Animal
That'll
Kingdom,
make her
I'll wear
bananas.
Star Wars.
That'll make her... your backwards ears also makes her crazy. My friend after tonight, Samantha. Oh my goodness, Judy. Happy anniversary.
Yes,
we're going to be seeing you in a few days. So exciting.
Her and Grumpy are getting all kinds of drinks.
Yeah, he goes by Doc now.
Oh, now he's Doc. We've converted him. Now
he's no longer Grumpy. Probably because of all those free drinks he's getting.
Yeah, they got champagne, I think, at Boma
a
little bit ago.
So Mandie Malinoski is with FTC Elite Travel. So you guys may have known her agency by a different name. This is the new name, so this is what we're going to be calling it from now on. Don't want people to be confused.
Nope, it's same old good stuff, though.
Same agency, different name.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Just a little bit of necessary rebranding.
Okay, that's...
Yeah.
I just didn't want people to be confused. You haven't changed. The company changed names, so we're good. Yep, exactly. All right, so we're going to talk about the Starcruiser. Mm-hmm. Mandie, I think the number one thing people want to know about the Starcruiser, I think a lot of people when it was first announced, people were like, "Oh my goodness, this is going to be so expensive."
Yeah, and myself included, even
Mm-hmm.
with, everything that I do and everything. I mean, I book a lot of expensive trips and
Right.
I go on them myself. I mean, everybody teases me like cabana lifestyle and, all that kind of stuff. And I even was extremely skeptical. And I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And I was like,
Mm-hmm. You
wow,
are, and your kids
that's
are.
yeah, and my kids are too. And I was like, wow, that's what it is for 2 nights and 3 days. Um,
I think, speaking
I'm
of your kid, I
completely
think,
converted though.
oh, good.
I
I
love
think
it.
your daughter could sing the Imperial March before she could talk.
So my daughter could sing the Imperial March before she was 2. I I actually posted a video of it in the Disney spot, I think last week. Yeah, she could sing it before she was even 2, and, she would walk around and not like that at 2, she wouldn't walk around, but as she got older, she would stomp around and do it. My kids are total I mean, well, Avery likes everything kind of. She loves all of it, but Cam's
Hmm.
total dark side kid.
Cool.
He was just watching Obi-Wan Kenobi last night. Did you
It's
watch it
really
yet?
good.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
really
Yeah,
good.
we watched the new episodes last night. It's our 3rd time watching. I mean, obviously first time for the new episodes, but we
Yeah.
keep re-watching it every night. It's so good.
Yeah. So if you're not watching it, please, you should give it a try. Definitely.
Oh,
So let's talk about what it costs. Let's just get that out of the way. So it's cheaper the more people in your cabin. I mean, per
you can get
person.
it down, yeah. So if you do the 4 guests per cabin, it's the $750. That's the most economical way to do it. That's what we did. We did the 4 people in a cabin, and I can tell you it was extremely comfortable.
Okay.
You
Okay.
didn't feel like crowded, overwhelmed, or anything like that, like you can
Okay.
in some hotel rooms. It's very much I'm trying to think of the best way to say that. It's very much priced like a cruise. So like a cruise, when you have 2 in a cabin, it's not as economical as when you have 4 in a cabin. The price just keeps going down
Right.
for the more you put in the cabin.
Well, that makes sense.
And it's all inclusive like a cruise. So everything other than your alcoholic beverages and the merchandise you buy from the guest store, like the gift shop, are going to be included. So this price includes food, it includes drinks, it also includes a quick service meal in Batu. So there's a lot more in there than just a room and the experience.
Okay. So one of the things, like you just said, you have an excursion to Batu.
Yeah.
And so when you book this, because I remember last week we were talking to Scott and Samantha. They've got a trip planned for December. They were on their My Disney Experience app, and they realized, hey, I have an annual pass holder, but I have this 1-day ticket to Hollywood Studios.
It comes
Suddenly on
with
my
the
My Disney
experience.
Experience.
Yeah, it also includes park admission for that day to Hollywood Studios. And yes, everyone, you can go anywhere in the park you want. You don't have to stay in Batu. Your girl over here went to Toy Story Land. So.
Yeah, I saw you. Hey, Kurt, you're supposed to be having fun at Disney. So, do you want to talk about the arrival next? Do you want to talk about the room?
Let's start with the room.
Okay.
Dave, what's up?
Well, I think before we even get started, before you even talk about anything, I just have to know. First Order or the Resistance?
So I went with the Resistance for this excursion because I checked my phone too, by the way. I went with because the feedback and all of the research I did was that the Resistance got more activities to do, which we'll talk about. I would always probably choose First Order just because that's me. But I did do Resistance, and it was a lot of fun. We had one girl in our room who took one for the team and did First Order, and she did get a lot of activity, though, more than other people have said they got. So I think we just did something a little different, and she got involved in a little bit more. But you do definitely get more play with the Resistance.
That's what I'd heard. I heard that if you choose the dark side, you get a little bit less.
Yeah, and I'll explain a little bit about that and how you can choose the either way and still get as much activity. There's like automated activity through your app, through the Disney Play apps, and then there's actual side activities and special things that aren't in there that you're invited to based off of your interaction with the actors.
Scott, you're right. For that money, it should be after hours Ogas. I personally think that you could tell us if you think it took away from the experience. I think that if you want to fully be immersed in the experience, they should have Batuu open for 2 hours after park closing just for you people.
So I don't actually agree because it's only 100 rooms. So it's only 100 rooms. It's and that's not a lot of people at all.
No, it's not.
So if you put that many people into Batuu, it's going to be empty.
It doesn't pay to staff it. It doesn't pay to staff it.
It's not even about the staffing. The storyline takes place there, and if it was empty and you're taking place in the storyline, it would feel fake.
You're not in this busy port.
Yeah, it's a busy port, and you need to go there, and you need to find things, and you need to interact with people, and you wear a Halcyon pin, so everybody who works there knows what you are, and they interact with you. The whole experience comes from the ship over into Batuu, and I just feel like if it was empty, it wouldn't work.
Okay.
And the other thing that I would contest is what Scott said about a closing time for Ogas. That's wonderful, but there's a whole event that goes on the ship, and it could never take place if you were in Batuu that late.
Okay.
You have to be back by 4 p.m.
Okay. Well, you've got a pretty cool lounge yourself on the ship.
The Sublight Lounge is incredible.
Yeah.
And it has a big sabacc table. You can play. It's so awesome. Yes, I spent a lot of time in there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said you want to start with the cabin. So let's go to the cabin.
Right.
Oh, nice. This was your cabin, right?
Mm-hmm. So that's a queen size bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then those two are considered a twin, but they're slightly larger. I slept on the top bunk, and I was super comfortable. The only complaint I would have for it is there's no outlets in these bunks. So that the black spot is a light, and they failed to put any kind of outlet or
you should have a charger for your phone up there.
The light should open, and it should be a charger for the phone, and it's not. That's not what it is. So I had to have like a 6-foot cord running from the bed up to my bunk.
That's crazy. Kurt's thanking you for the solid you did for him today.
Always, Kurt. Forever. You got it, dude.
All right. So there's storage.
Yep, lots of storage. We had 4 grown women in there, and we had no lack of storage. So all of this opened. You could hang things. You could put suitcases in there, backpacks, everything. And then under the bed on the side closest to the window, it's open, and you can shove all your suitcases. You can put extra bags, everything under there. So the room for people who are crazy like me, your room will always look neat, even though you're in a smaller space.
Okay.
The shower is huge. That picture does not do it justice. It's very long and big. It was super comfortable.
Those are the soaps.
That's your shampoo, your conditioner, and your body wash.
There's one outlet.
So that's right by the bed. If you do the far picture, it shows the whole bed. You'd see that to the right. It's a little table that comes off the wall.
Oh yeah.
You see it over there, and then there's an outlet. But that is the only thing the room lacked was outlets. I think there were 2 or 3.
Now I've heard a lot about this port window.
That port window is so cool. It does change with the story. You do see ships flying by. You see the First Order come in, and all of Kylo Ren's ships come and take over. You see everything that goes on in the storyline through there. It's completely appropriate, and it changes. If you don't want the window open while you're sleeping and stuff, there are blinds that come down on it.
I did hear that was kind of a design flaw, that those lights around the window don't turn off.
Oh, they do. So, people who just didn't know how to turn them off.
Oh, so you can keep it open and just have space outside.
Oh, no, that is a design flaw. You can't turn the lights off if the window's open.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people would like to sleep with space outside, but those lights are on, right?
Yeah. No, it's one switch that shuts it and turns it off.
Yeah, they should have.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool to have that on.
With space, but no lights.
That would be really cool. I didn't even think about sleeping with space, but that is really cool.
All right.
Yeah, it's outlets like a moderate.
What's this, Mandie?
So those are refillable metal cups and water bottle that came with it. It was really cool for me, the little hippie that doesn't like plastic water bottles.
Mhm.
It's a glass water bottle that you can refill at all the drink stations, and then metal cups that you can use to drink your water.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a little computer in your room.
Yeah, so you have like a command station, and you can talk to like this special droid that's in the ship, and she kind of gives you updates as to what's going on. She asks you questions, and then based off your answers, she has different, responses. We liked messing with her a little bit, and it was kind of fun to do. She would, be a little taken aback by some of our answers.
Cool.
But everything is absolutely interactive, and depending on what you do, it does something different.
So I wanted to ask you about getting there when you arrived.
Yeah.
So
my flamingo picture.
I saw that. Yeah, it looks like you have only one leg, but actually
I was trying to be all Instagram and pose on the wall, but you can see how good I am at that kind of
Looks
stuff.
like you have one leg. So we've heard from our friend Glenn Kessler, who arrived at 11:30 and stood outside and was the first one. And we've heard from our friend Wendy Fox, who arrived at 2 and it was a zoo. Mm-hmm. What is your recommendation for arrival?
Well, I went to the Guardians of the Galaxy preview, and then I rolled up at 1:00, and I was in the door in 15 minutes.
Okay. So it sounds like it's gotten better.
Yeah.
Because Wendy was there like very early in the beginning.
That's the thing too. Disney, when they first do anything, I say this with all due respect and love, it's going to be rough.
Yeah. It's better now.
Yeah. I always tend to book it a little while after, close to the beginning. I mean, this was a great gift I got, but yeah. Any new thing, I give it a little while for the wheels to get greased.
Johnny wants to know if one leg was part of your Star Wars character.
I wish.
You were a one-leg pirate.
It's my flamingo picture. I'm part of a flamboyance.
So I did notice in the what's included, if you do drive, valet parking is included.
Yeah, it is. And I took a Mears cab over there and they paid for it. And then I took a Mears cab out of there all the way to Universal and they paid for it.
Wow.
So that's included too.
So it sounds from what I read today, in true Disney style, the Disney Crush podcast records on Monday nights, and then the news comes out on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And the news today was that minivans are coming back June 29th. I saw something that kind of made me think that they may be encouraging people to use minivans for their trips now, once it does open.
I'm sorry.
I know. Thanks, Johnny.
That's so funny. I can't.
Did you see anything in the verbiage that made you think that?
I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they rolled out. I don't know that the minivan fleet can actually hold everybody that is going to go there. Yeah. I always use Mears exclusively. I don't think that's like a secret. Everybody knows I do. I advocate it a lot. I've used them forever. I was talking to a couple drivers that I know, and they were all saying that the Star Wars Galactic Cruiser pickup and drop-off times are like their busiest times now. They're getting so many people that they can barely even handle it. So I don't know if a minivan fleet can handle it, but I think that they would definitely probably divert you that way first.
If they're going to pay for it.
And then try to take go the other route.
Okay. So you arrived at 1, muster's at 4. So you had a buffet. Did you go to the buffet lunch?
So we ate at the Crown Corellia, a whole bunch. Yes, we did get inside. We got to our room. We did all of our travel agent stuff where we did our, room photos and things like that. The only thing we missed was the tour of the ship, which is the one thing I regret. There is a tour of the ship that happens on the first day that I really recommend you try to get to. And then we went over to the Crown Corellia and we ate. It's like a buffet style during breakfast and lunch, and it's really good. The food is delicious.
So this is the main lobby?
Yes, that is the lobby, what they call the atrium.
Okay. And is that where the action happens?
Yes. So 90% of things are going to start there, and then they're going to go to different places of the ship. Another spot that we had a lot of action in was the engineering room, obviously the bridge, and then the sublight lounge.
Okay, here's the sublight lounge, right?
Yeah, it's like my favorite spot. Are you surprised?
No, not at all. Actually, you sent me a little video. Let me see if it'll play. And that's the big table you were talking about.
Sabak, yeah, the game Sabak. It's a lot of fun.
That looks like a cool space.
Do they teach you how to play?
Yeah, they teach you how to play and they'll play with you. And then there's like, I mean, I consider myself a diehard fan, but there are like diehard fans that know the rules to like all these games and stuff. So we had a cool, I would say kid, but I mean, he had to be in his early 20s, who was showing everybody how to play and like telling them the rules and showing them how to hit the buttons and stuff.
Do you see Scott's question? He wants to know, is it a real bar or is it all pre-mixed drinks?
No. It's a real bar, Scott. So they have a menu of pre-mixed drinks, which you're seeing right here. I loved the Vimlet, the Dagobon Vimlet, which is like a peppery kind of drink. It's the picture in the champagne or martini glass that's green. Yes, it was very, very good. But I typically drink vodka sodas, and that's all I really drink. And they were making those for me. Other guests were getting, like gins and seltzers and vodka cran. I mean, were a full bar. Now,
so that some of those drinks look familiar, like Olga's drinks. So they have
that right there is Olga's Cantina.
Oh, that's why.
That's our excursion. So part of it too is that you get an Olga's Cantina reservation automatically.
Okay.
And then you get a Rise of the Resistance, boarding group time automatically, and you get a Millennium Falcon genie automatically.
Okay.
So these are all drinks from Olga's on our excursion over there. Now that one is called, let me remember what that one is called. That is a, looking at my list here. I want to say that one that's the Mark of the Huntress.
Okay.
It's a bourbon whiskey, peach infused black currant, lemon and sparkly bubbles.
Nice.
It was delicious. It's nothing like anything I ever drank, but it was delicious.
Johnny wants to volunteer to be a bar, just a lounge lizard.
So what's really interesting is that it's not just characters that you would know that are on the ship, on the Halcyon. There is different characters that are passengers too. And they're there to incite storyline and to play with you and to get different things going. That's Gaia. She's a intergalactic rock star or pop star. Pop star is more appropriate. Who is coming to do the cruise entertainment and do this big show. And she is also part of the storyline. We interacted with her a lot. One thing that we did, and I think that was key in getting involved in everything, is we talked to all the actors, like all the characters. We were always chatting it up, playing Star Wars storylines with them, asking questions. If we saw something going on and we weren't invited, we just invited ourselves and went. We were just always there. And that helped a lot because all those side things that were going on, we just were automatically included in them. So, and the stormtroopers were so fun. I have to mess with every one of them. Yeah. By the end of the time, I was being told I was going to be thrown in the brig because I just wouldn't leave them alone. But it was a lot of fun. I think that being active on the Disney Play app in, the Star Wars and answering all the questions is important. And it gets you all of the main activities, but actually being present in the atrium, in the engineering room, when you see a character, talking to them, asking them questions, even if it's as simple as like, where are you going? What are you doing? they'll involve you automatically if you do
Very
that.
cool. Very cool. So I'm just trying to find, this is the bridge, right?
Yes, that's the bridge. Mm-hmm.
So bridge training, that's
Yes.
something
Oh my
that
God, it
everybody
was
needs to
so
do,
fun.
right?
Yeah, so there's certain things that everybody does. Everybody does bridge training. Everybody does lightsaber training. Facebook user, I am not a big costume person, but I did bound. So like here I'm in like a green dress with like kind of earthy sandals, and I did my hair in like a Raya style, and I wore my earrings that I'm wearing right now. That are, well, right now I'm wearing my Sith earrings, but I wore the Rebel ones on the.
And in Arrival, that's how you dressed.
Yep, and that's how I did. I kind of bounded to like a Star Wars kind of back character.
Right. And you know what? It was May. It was hot, and so you were comfortable.
Yeah.
And then you see people.
Well, I will say this
costumes.
though. I will say this though. That ship is freezing.
Yeah.
They keep it so air conditioned. It is so. I had to keep going in the climate room to get like warmed up. That's the climate room. There's a video of that too. Can you play it?
I couldn't get that to load.
Oh, okay. So a little secret. So if anybody doesn't want any spoilers, just turn this off for a second.
Okay.
You need to go in the climate room. That's where the Force is. And they do like this really cool thing out there. So you need to keep stalking the Saja and go out there.
Okay. Go to the climate room.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, before we talked about your costume, we were talking about bridge training.
Right. So the bridge training was probably my favorite of the required events. You do 4 different stations and you're assigned a team. And you get to try each different thing out, from like protecting the ship to grabbing cargo to, whatever it may be. And you each one is like a computer console. It's like a video game. And it reminds me of like an 80s style, like Pongish type video game where you have to remove something around. It's a lot of fun. It's cool. That entire front of the ship is a giant interactive game screen.
Cool.
It's really cool.
All right.
And they go to light speed
throughout. For things like that, they schedule you a time.
Yes. And you get it in your hand, in your Disney Play, in your handheld.
Okay. You don't know ahead of time what time you're going to before you get there?
No, and they're different. The day you arrive, you can see all 3 days, but you don't get it until you arrive.
Okay.
Maybe that morning you can see it. I looked at it when I got there.
Well, let's look. You want to look at some of the food? You sent me pictures of, looks like breakfast and dinner.
Right. Food on the ship was really, really good. So this is the buffet breakfast that you could get, and the buffet lunch that you could get. And you kind of go in, and it's like a half circle shape, and you walk around and grab what you want. And then in the front is a drink station, and you can get all the blue milk, all the green milk, all of that you want. Right. So if you want to drink the 7,543 glasses that you need to pay for the Halcyon, it's up to you.
To get your money's worth in blue milk. Yeah. So it's funny because I noticed some of these things are like, they're familiar items. This is basically a Scotch egg.
Yeah,
they give it a fun name.
Right. So everything is very familiar food. Nothing is weird. I think the weirdest thing that we had was blue shrimp, which is just food coloring.
Right.
All the food was amazing. It was all regular things you'd eat at home, and they give it a really funny name, or they just give it some, like, this is yogurt, they dyed it blue.
Right. This is avocado toast.
Did you have a favorite?
Yep. Avocado toast.
What was your favorite thing?
So the last dinner you have, Dave, they do this tour around the galaxy, and they do food from each, different section of the galaxy. And I would say that was probably my absolute favorite meal that we had. I just loved everything they did. Those are the Halcyon waffles, not to be confused with the Mickey waffle.
Or the Symbol waffles, or the Stitch waffles.
Yes, none of those. Yes, and all the.
That's a little Boma.
Yep.
All right, this looks like dinner. These pictures here.
Yes. Well, this is the charcuterie from Oga's Cantina.
Oh, okay. This is dinner.
Yes, and Dave, this was fantastic too.
That looks really good.
I think they called it porg. I can't remember. Everything had like a name from the movies, Tony. You know, like what they would eat. It was what they would call it. But this was really just a beef dish and a really well cooked, slow cooked beef dish.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I know that there's mixed reviews on the food for this, but everybody that was with me and myself included were like floored with the food. It was
so
good.
tell me if you had your kids with you, would there be things that they would find to eat?
Cam would have eaten at every meal.
Mm-hmm.
He would have found plenty that he liked at every single meal. And then through the day, that dining room is open. It's literally open until an hour before dinner.
So you can eat up to an hour before dinner.
It's truly like a cruise. Like there's just food everywhere.
That's so awesome, though.
And then beyond that, in the atrium, they have a like snack stand set up that has like mixed grain, like, you know, granola, trail mixes,
Right.
cupcakes. They turn it into dessert at night. You could go everywhere and there's food. And then you go in the Sublight Lounge and they have a whole appetizer menu that you can order from anytime you want. Like we were ordering this like amazing smoky cheese plate like all the time, different chips and salsa. No, they don't give you a bedtime, Scott. We would stay up.
He's very worried about bedtime.
No, we would stay up and take pictures like in the empty ship at night. That's how I have a lot of these photos of everything empty because I took them at like midnight.
What time does the Sublight Lounge close?
Well, around like 11, everything kind of pretty much shuts down. And then you want to get back up for like, I want to say like 8 o'clock. You want to be, this is the latest you really want to be getting up.
Because things are happening by then.
Well, yeah, because you need to get up, have your breakfast. You're going to go to Batu. You're going to do some missions. They're going to have games on the ship that you want to partake in, different events of like that nature. You know, and then you're going to want to come back after dinner. They're going to have stuff going on. You're going to want to do your trainings. You want to going to be involved with the characters. So I was afraid I was going to get bored, which I know sounds crazy, but I was afraid.
How was
and I didn't.
How was the shuttle to Batu?
That is really cool. Have you ever seen what it looks like on the outside?
Mm-mm.
So it's like a flatbed truck that has like a thing on it, right? It's crazy looking. So just Google it and the images will come up. But the inside, the transport is in true Disney fashion. Like you have no idea what you're in. And it looks like a capsule and there's screens. And it was super cool. And it was only about like a 5-minute ride.
Right. Because you're driving across the parking lot, basically.
Yeah. And it was super cool. And it everything they did, like there was like walkways, like an airport walkway to the ship. That's how you got on it. It all looks so real. Everything looked so real and so incredible. It was, when I looked at what the actual shuttle looked like, I was in shock.
Yeah, we figured, but we were kind of concerned about how it was going to be and if it was going to be,
it's not bumpy,
very
it's super smooth. You really feel like you're like flying wherever you're going. And then you dock up and it does do the little jerk movement that like any plane or what you would consider a spaceship to do.
Right.
And then you walk off onto another gateway and you come out the entrance to Batu right next to Kylo Ren's ship. Another cool thing to note that I didn't realize and I just thought was the coolest thing ever was that in that gateway to Batu, they have a huge ice cart and refreshment stand for the Halcyon guests, and you don't have to buy anything in Batu. They have water, soda, whatever, all right there. You just go over there and grab it.
Very interesting. So you're a VIP.
Yeah. And you didn't have to like, you know, get your soda or anything from the cart. You just walked over to them and it was all included, all part of your, you know, we did have to pay our bill at Oga's, but
no.
Womp womp.
Yeah. So day one, you arrive, you go to your room, you have lunch, you muster, and then you explore and have fun. And
so day one for us, and it could be different for others, we had our lightsaber training and our bridge training on day one.
Okay.
And we got to do muster, we got to do lightsaber, and we got to do bridge training.
All on day one. Some people are doing that on day two.
Yeah, some people have that, you know, booked for the evening of day two.
Mm-hmm. So then day two, you wake up, you have breakfast, you go to Batu, and you can stay at Batu. You have to be back on the ship by 4, you said.
Yeah, so you have the last ship back to the ship, the last transport, as they called it, was at 4.
So is it like Hotel California? You could check out anytime you want, but you could never leave
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. But they were pretty strict
until
though.
they
Like
kick you out on day 3.
but they were pretty strict though. If you didn't get on that transport, they weren't coming for you.
Muster is like when you go on a cruise ship. They everybody has to be there.
So it's a safety protocol to give. So it's on any cruise ship. It's a safety protocol to give you the ins and outs in case of an emergency on the ship. It's a group of people you're assigned to, and in case of an emergency, you will be with them. You will be in that boat. It shows you where the life jackets are, where the boat is, what the protocol is, all of that. And it's like got a diagram in your room. So because this is a intergalactic cruise, a lot of things that you do. Can you hear me?
I can now. Yeah.
Okay. A lot of things that you do are exactly like a cruise, which includes muster. So the first thing that you do at 4:00 on the day of arrival is you do a muster. The only difference between a real cruise and this is that you are not assigned a station. You choose a station.
Okay.
Station A was right by the Sublight Lounge. So that was the station we were in. But it's great. It's a lot of chanting. It was a lot of, play, going through, you meet the captain, you meet the muster station captains, who are different characters in the, whole storyline. Ours was a Saja. Saja are kind of like a Jedi, but not a Jedi. They practice in the ways of the Force, but are not a Jedi.
Cool.
And, yeah, it was fun. It was the basis, and I'm trying to explain it without ruining it.
Yeah.
It was the basis for the whole story. It started right there.
So the gift shop, that's open. That's open on day 1 and day 2?
Yes, it's open on day 1 and day 2, and it is open in the morning on day 3. It has a different set of merchandise than the store when you're exiting the Halcyon.
Okay.
So if you want that stuff, that's the only store to get it in.
Okay. Now there are a couple of extras you can buy on top of what you've paid for your room and board, all that.
Yeah.
You can up. How many? There's captain's table. How many reservations are available to sit at the captain's table?
So I don't remember the exact number, but I want to say it's 20. Maybe it's 15.
And there's two.
It's a giant oval table in the middle of the dining room, and it has like a big centerpiece on it, and the captain like walks around it and talks to all of those characters. So it's a good way to put yourself in the middle. I didn't see what Sam said.
Sam wants to know how much stuff you bought
in the gift shop. In the gift shop, I bought, so I'm not as big of a shopper as people think I am with that kind of stuff. I bought a mug.
That's okay.
And I bought Cam the Sabat card game because my son loves cards. So I bought that, and I bought Avery a little droid pin for her pin collection. But I'm not a huge
merch person
in that way. Yeah. There's things I want. But when I want them, Karen Dave's already bought it for me. So,
do you know what this costs to sit at the captain's table? I
do not know the cost off the top of my head. I can definitely find out though. We did not do the captain's table.
Do you happen to know when you can you reserve this when you reserve your crew, your passage, or is this
you do these things later, like the 60-day mark for other experiences.
Okay. I was just wondering because you said there's like 20 seats and there's two dining times, right? There's an early.
Yeah, there's just like any cruise, there's a 5:30 and like an 8:30 dining.
So I was just curious. Does that mean there's actually 4 opportunities? Because there's 2 dinners.
There's 2 dinners. Each has an opportunity to sit at the captain's table.
So and there's 2 seatings a night, so that would be 4 opportunities total. to try to
I
get.
say that it's $30 per person. It's not as expensive as you think it is.
Well, because you're already paying for your meal, and so it's
it's like an upcharge.
It's kind of like going in on the Disney cruise ships, going to, the.
Yeah, I think it is $30. It might be 40, but it's
that's what
very
Samantha
much
said.
a reasonable add-on.
And
then
Samantha said 30.
I'm just trying to figure out how early in advance you can do it. I know that.
Well, Sam already did it because they're going in December, and she said they already did it.
Yeah, you do it in advance. Okay.
Okay, cool. You can also do the Galactic Starcruiser version of Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique.
Yes,
you can have them come to your room and paint your face.
Intergalactic face paint.
They'll come to your room and do this. It's very interesting. In the fine print, they say they come to your room. The door remains open the entire time. They do it right kind of in the doorway, in the landing of your room.
Yeah.
I guess they don't want anybody like in your room with you.
The rooms were really interesting. I'll tell you that. They, as part of the safety protocol, like God forbid there was an emergency, you don't actually go out the room door, Tony. They have a safe space and you open like a cabinet and you are to climb into said safe space and they will come and get you.
Interesting.
To me, that was the so it's got to be like a back end hallway that they take you out.
They can take you out of the building.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we got that already. You can do.
Samantha clarified. So I haven't had someone book it yet. So at the time of booking, you can do the captain's table, Samantha said, and everything else is 60 days out. That was what I was looking for. Thanks, Sam.
Like this, which is the capture your moment of the Galactic Starcruiser. It's a 30-minute photo session. Do you know, does it cost the same as a regular capture your moment, or is it more?
No, Elizabeth said it was pretty on par with what the other ones were. So, and she enjoyed it. I mean, my girlfriend who came with us did it, and she really liked it. She got some really incredible pictures.
I think that's worth it if you're going to spend the money to go on the Starcruiser. My experience with the capture your moments in the parks has been exceptional. I can't see spending all that money on the cruise and not doing this if you can get it.
Yeah, I agree.
It wasn't too hard to get. I mean, Bethy called in and she said there was availability and stuff. So remember, there's only 100 rooms. So I think everything is more readily available than you think.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think a lot of people realize how small it really is.
And they say they encourage you to dress. They encourage you to wear costumes, but it's not mandatory.
No, and I will tell you that everybody that I was with on my cruise at least bounded like I did. Nobody was walking around in like regular gear, you know.
I saw a vlog and there was a guy in a Hawaiian shirt. Thought that was funny, actually.
We had one lady on our ship that initially said she was just there for her husband and that she didn't care for any of it and she was going to drink her way through the weekend.
Well, Sublight Lounge looks pretty nice. So
by the end of it, she was involved with everything with us. So couldn't have been that bad.
So I guess the main question is it worth it? To you? Is it worth it?
No, to me, it totally is.
Okay.
But you need to interact with it though. Like you're not going there to lay by a pool. Like you're going there to be a part of it. Right. So if you're going to go and be a part of it, it's going to be a totally memorable, amazing thing that you've done. You know, I'm going to bring Cam. So I'm going to book Cam for his birthday, his 10th birthday.
Right.
So it won't be next year. It'll be the year after. But I'm going to bring back Cam. I'm going to bring Avery. And I think it's going to be a big family memory for us. I don't think it's something that people, I mean, there will be some people who do this, but the general thing, I don't think will be like an annual trip to the Starcruiser. But I think it's definitely worth it for that memorable family, you know, event or trip, or if you want to add it on to your Disney trip and split it with that, it's definitely something that's extremely special. Like I'm going to do it for Cam's 10th birthday.
Yeah. Now you're a mom and you have little ones. Do you think that 10 is a good age? Like what age do you think Avery's going to be able to?
I think Cam would do everything right now and be so incredibly impressed. Avery, I think, would think it was cool for like the first day and a half. And then after that, she'd be like, okay, I'm ready to go see Cinderella now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, then it's a good length of time because it's only 2 days.
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing I was pretty skeptical about, Tony. I was like, well, how is this going to go for this? You know, it's going to either be too short or too long. And it was the perfect amount because it's not really 3 days. You get there at 1:00, right? On the day that you arrive. So it's like a half day. Then you have the full day in the middle. And then the last day, they had our, departure time at like 8 a.m.
Nice.
We didn't actually listen to it. We slept and went and ate and stuff. But like, it's not like a momentous day on the last day,
Yeah.
So you really do have the perfect amount of time to be involved in it and to do everything before you lose some traction. I definitely think that Avery needs to be like 6 or 7.
Okay.
So,
Do you think if you were to come as a family, do you think it's revisitable? Like, do you think it's something you could do again in 2 years?
Yeah, I don't think it's something that you couldn't do more than once. I just think that if you did the same story every year, because it's the same story.
Yeah.
At some point they're going to have to change it a little bit, I would imagine, but it's the same basis and then it changes depending on the interaction that they get. But yeah, I think you could come more than once. I think you could come every few years or whatever, and it'd be a lot of fun.
I think there's a certain group of fans who were waiting for it to open, who are those are the diehards that are that want to go do it, but then they're going to want to do it again, so they are going to have to change the storyline. I think a little bit.
I think there'll be updates through the years where they change it a little bit, and then
maybe to go with as the movies change.
Yeah, so. And as more information. So the storyline though is not based on the movies.
Mm-hmm.
There's hints and there's characters that and there's definitely things that as a Star Wars fan, but it's a totally different story.
Okay.
Which is
like that too is.
Yes, and it's unique unto itself.
Good. Right.
Which is great, which is also changeable. They can do whatever they want to it.
All right, Mandie. So we're excited that you got to do it. We hope you get to go back, and we have some friends going later this year. And I thank you so much. I don't think we gave too much away to take away from anybody. It's mostly stuff that's information that's already out there. You can change storyline on your own, Scott says. So by making different choices, like choose your own adventure.
Yes, you can. And to a degree, Scott, you can. No, Sam, that you will not be completely lost because it's its own story and you'll be there to witness all of it. And Scott, to a degree, but the story is the story. So the way your story plays out will play out in its own unique way. You'll still get to the same end result.
The climax at the end of the, the big climax is going to be the big climax.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But there'll be a lot of different things that happen, that might not happen on somebody else's trip. I mean, we wrote a song with one of the lead characters and he sung it as the grand finale to us. I mean, I don't think that's happening on every, every cruise, but to a degree, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's his job to write a song and do whatever. Right. But we hung out with him from the very last day. Like we never left him. So he sung to us as the grand finale. I'm not sure how happy the rest of the ship was about that, but
so we've got a few minutes left. Is there anything else in Disney going on that we need we talked about the minivans coming back?
2023 packages open tomorrow.
Ooh.
So if anybody's looking to book their 2023 package, it is happening tomorrow. Listen, I'm not an alarmist. Everybody knows that. You're going to have an ability to book packages, obviously, for a while.
Yeah.
But booking in advance does guarantee you one of the lowest prices because even though there's no sale applied, it is before increase and all of
It's
that kind
locked
of
in.
stuff comes out, and it's locked in. And it also guarantees you certain resorts. Like if you want the Poly Club level for, April spring break, now is the time to look for it.
Well, I want to know, because we're looking at October 2023. We need real dates from our friend in the Isle of Wight.
Kevin Curtis Allen. We need to know when we're going to Walt Disney World.
We need dates because we want to get maybe a hospitality suite or something for one night so we can have a big party.
That would be awesome.
But we need dates, or else it's going to be booked and we're not going to be able to get it. So he's asleep right now. He doesn't care what we say.
He watches everything in the morning, though.
That's
I get a
true.
good giggle.
All right. Well, and minivans are coming back, and Hoop-de-Doo is opening up this month.
Hoop-de-Doo.
Lion King, the full show is coming back in July. Nemo's coming back June 13th.
Yeah.
The new Nemo show. So there's a lot going on in the next couple months. He bought his park tickets already. I don't know about that. Oh, Samantha wants to know about the cabanas at the Grand Floridian.
Cabanas at the Grand Floridian are amazing. You want Pat to be your waiter. I really do enjoy the cabanas at the Grand Floridian. The thing to keep in mind with the cabanas at the Grand Floridian and the cabanas at Contemporary are they are not by the feature pool. They're by the.
They're not by the what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
The feature pool.
Feature.
Oh, the
pool.
feature pool. The feature pool. They're by the more quiet pool. Okay. Oh,
She's
good.
booked it.
Yes. As for Pat, he's awesome. I love him.
All right. All right, Miss Mandie, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook at the Disney Spot. You can find me at www.minniemousema.com, or you can find me on the Disney Crush. I'm pretty much there all the time too.
Yes, she is. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I have to go finish packing. Dave, are you packed?
We are in the process of packing. Yes.
Well, you're bringing your whole house with you.
I am bringing.
What do you have to pack?
That's going to be different. You bring your whole house with you. You don't have to pack.
I have to move things so I can bring the slides in. So
yeah, that's true. To move the slides in to drive. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you have to fill your tank.
Yeah, that's going to be painful. I got to stop by the gas station on the way there, and that's going to hurt a little bit.
What is gas at right now in Florida?
$4.75.
We're at $4.75. We were actually in Tampa yesterday. I think it was yesterday, and it was $4.99 there.
Yeah,
guys, we're like north of $6 here.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going up. They claim that by the end of June here, it'll be 5 or over. So
she's already north of 6, so she's not feeling bad for us.
Yeah, no, it's
no, and I'm driving to Disneyland on Friday, and I'm like, this is going to be real expensive.
And it's more expensive in Disneyland, the gas.
Ooh,
yeah, well, Chris
Facebook
is already.
user.
Chris is all over me already. You fill up at the border. You have enough to get back home. Don't drive that car in LA.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous
when
you're going to Disneyland.
House, it really sucks up the gas. You know,
I'm
really,
sure it does.
When you drive a house,
yes.
yes.
Watch it. It's not good.
All right. Well, Mandie's going to Disneyland. We're going to Disney World. And we will see everybody. Good night, Scott. We'll see you Thursday night, hopefully. And we will see everybody else on the Facebook.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys.